What is going on, everybody? My name is Jason McCullough. This is All Music for My Sanity. So my buddy had a question. He was asking about buying an eBay guitar kit. There's nothing wrong with that. There are a few things you got to watch out for. Scale of the guitar. And I think a lot of the people that I know coming out of this whole TTM nightmare, we're all very intimately familiar with how bad a scale can get from a Chinese guitar. How do I make sure with this set neck, because it's not a bolt-on and it's an SG, so it's kind of weird, the bridge, the neck pickup pocket is open at the top because the neck actually comes all the way in, and it's got this little, what can I say, I'm gonna do this, like little lip right here that goes into, say this is the neck. You got this goofy extra little tang, pretty much, tongue or tang, and it goes into and sits underneath where the pickup would be. So if I can make this even more goofy, right? So it's essentially going to be like that, right? So this is the heel of the neck and the fretboard on my knuckles. This is the little tang. It's going to sit underneath where that pickup is, and it's going to be glued down. And if it has been done right, you would basically just push it all the way in to the base of that really massive pickup neck pocket. The neck pocket plus pickup pocket. So you just slide it all the way down like you would any other bolt-on guitar. And that would be it, right? No problem. However, you can't necessarily trust that on a Chinese guitar. So, and I would say that these are the same things you need to be doing with bolt-ons as set necks. What you need to do, get yourself a handy dandy ruler, tape measure, whatever, man. And remember, we're dealing in inches, although it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you really wanted to convert it to metric, who cares, right? Actually, metric would probably be way more accurate. Anyways, all right, so what we need to do, one of the first things we need to find out is what is the actual scale of your neck. Now, the scale of your neck is not necessarily going to be 25.5 or 24 3/4 inch, whatever it might supposed to be. So check this out, guys. I'm going to show you a real quick thing on how to nail down the scale of your neck, and see, that's going to help with a lot. So check this out real quick. Okay, so here we go. You want to figure out the scale. Let's keep this really straightforward and simple. Now, don't mind all the holes. Again, this is a tool for fret leveling. You want to be up against the front of it, right? And what we want to find, move this down. All right, now I think you can see that pretty well right there. So, stay. There we go. What we have, if you can see it right there, is we have pretty much, there's the 12th, front of the 12th, the crown of the 12th fret. This is dead on. This is 12 3/4 of an inch, right? Freaking awesome. So we take that number, we double it, and we want to find from the front of the nut. Boom. And then since that, we're going to run 25.5. And let's bring this on down. All right. There's our 25.5. Now, this is pretty much, yeah, you see that some of these are going to run like that. Like the low is sitting really at almost like 25.75. Some guitars, depending on your tuning as well, they lend themselves a little bit more to that extended scale. That's why it's gotten really popular for tunematics to be tilted this way. Because I have guitars that are tunematics that are next to impossible to intonate on the low E. Because I tuned, typically I'm in drop C. So it's kind of hard to get that to intonate properly. But then again, I also have other guitars, like I'm going to show you in a minute, my Warlock, that it intonates perfectly. It doesn't matter what tuning I'm in, it's insane. The guitars have, I don't know, man, must be that little bit of magic. So anyways, there you go, guys. So remember again, the middle, the crown of the 12th fret needs to be your measurement. So whatever it is, whether it's here or here or here, doesn't matter. You double that number, and that is where your bridge, the middle of the adjustments of your saddles, where the front of the saddle is. So that's your scale. So right here, that is pretty much 25.5. Okay, so just showed you guys how to check the scale of the neck. So ideally, what we're going with is the distance between the front of the nut and the crown of the 12th fret, right? So what you get there is, if you have a 25.5-inch scale neck, it should be, because I suck at math, 12 3/4 inch. Yeah, duh, that makes sense. And so what, basically, don't fight against the idea that it has to be 25.5 or it has to be 24 3/4. What all it really needs to be, so you can intonate it properly, is twice the distance from the nut, the front of the nut, to the crown of the 12th. So let's just say, instead of 12.75 at the crown of the 12th fret, let's make this even weirder, man. Let's just say this is 12.5, even though it's supposed to be 12.75, because it's supposed to be 25.5-inch. Well, if it's 12.5, that just means it's a 25-inch scale. Well, like I said, I need to go to 25, and that's where my center point needs to be on that bridge, roughly, right? Because I keep saying it roughly, because there's a semi-exact science to this. Not every guitar has a little bit of different personality. The strings are going to change exactly how well this will intonate. There's a lot of goofy little things that happen. But anyways, so if you find that whatever guitar you have, like 24.75, and you find that your halfway point is not half of 24.75, well, no big deal, unless you got an SG or an LP or something like that that already has those 2 holes drilled out, or 4 holes really, 2 for the bridge, 2 for the string retainer, whatever it's called. I can't think right now. Anyways, all right, so we have that, and we have either a bolt-on or a glue-in set neck. So if you can't change the bridge position, we have to change the neck position. So the way we'd have to do that, depending on how it fits, is if the scale for where these holes are drilled to where this neck naturally sits is too short, well, shit, move the neck that way. You might end up having to put some little pieces of wood to shim it back, or sort of, not necessarily. No, I mean, you can, you don't have to. So you can shim it out. However, if we find out that the scale is too long for the neck scale that you have, we can always sand off just a 1/10 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch off the end of that neck, whatever you need to bring that so that the scale from the nut to the center of the bridge is the scale you need, which should be twice the number from the nut to the crown of the 12th fret. So if it's a little bit off, you really do need to make that adjustment, or else you're going to be fighting yourself the entire time. You will never get the guitar to intonate properly. You'll lose your mind and you won't want to play it. So anyways, yeah, I kind of hope that little breakdown explains what we're looking for. You can't trust these Chinese manufacturers. And I'm going to show you guys something really cool. I'll show you my baby, my favorite guitar. I thought was 25.5-inch scale. It's not. And just to show, man, stupid little things. It's my favorite guitar. Nothing intonates. I've never had a guitar intonate and stay as true as it does, but it's not 25.5. All right, guys, now we have my Warlock, and I wanted to show this. This is weird. Now, this is my baby. I've had this since 1998. Got over 12,000 hours playing on this piece. Love this thing. It's a USA Class X Warlock. I love this thing. So anyways, we're talking again, front of the nut, right? Down to the crown of the 12th fret. So this is where it gets funny with this guitar. This gets really funny because it is not perfectly 12.75, and I don't know how well you can see that. Yeah, I guess you can, right? It's not perfectly 12.75. This is actually a little bit north. So the 12.75 is a little bit north of the crown. So we're actually sitting about 1/10 of an inch, maybe an 1/8 of an inch longer than the 12.75 we were looking for. So the reality is that the full scale of this is not 25.5. It's more like 25.65. And I've done the measurement before and I've done the numbers and I can't remember exactly what it is, but yeah, it's kind of weird. But again, you know, you can make up for that by figuring out where you're going to put your post holes or where you're going to move your bridge. So it doesn't even, so basically kind of saying that even if it's not a perfect 25.5 or 24 3/4 or any whatever perfect manufacturer number is out there, it doesn't mean it can't be a good guitar and it can't be intonated, that the scale can't be made right, because it doesn't have to fit those parameters. You have to find out, you know, this is what I got. Let's set that scale properly. And it can be done. It's not a big deal. I mean, you have to do it anyways, sort of. So anyway, I can keep going. But yeah, man, that is about it. I hope this was informative. I know it's a bit rambling and a bit all over the place, but that's just kind of who I am. Yeah, guys. And, you know, if anybody has any more questions, anything like that, I love this kind of stuff. I find so much joy in it. I'm learning it. It's exciting. And for me to keep going, to go back over these things and keep it fresh in my head is, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. And I love teaching people. I love helping people. So if anybody has any questions, now granted, I'm not a master luthier. I'm very much a beginner. All right, guys. Well, anyways, hey, thank you for the question. I hope this helped, man. And yeah. All right, guys. Oh, cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. I am building a one-off swamp ash telly with this is gonna be sick, flame maple reverse headstock, telly style headstock, which I'm not a big fan of, but it's reverse. It's just kind of cooler that way. Reverse telly headstock, ebony fretboard, gold EVO frets, and gold inlays. Oh, it's gonna be so sick. I can't wait. Swamp ash, flame maple neck, tellies, reverse headstock. It's badass. It's so cool. So, all right, guys. Once again, my name is Jason McCullough. This is All Music for My Sanity.